Jai Shri Krishna, Namaste, and welcome to Chitty Media's Current Affairs Show. As you can see on our screen, I'm joined by our very special guest, Mr. Arif Aajakia ji. Arif ji, welcome.
Thank you very much. Namaskar to everyone.
Thank you. So we had the pleasure of meeting previously at the protest, at the Guardian protest, and I look forward to seeing you next week at the BBC one as well, because yes, there's a lot of Hindu phobia going on. But tonight I want to talk to you a little bit about the human rights issues that are happening, because we always hear of the human rights happening in India or on the border of India, but we never seem to hear of what's happening on the other side. So recently, a couple of weeks ago, US Ambassador Donald Blome, he went to the Pakistani occupied side of Kashmir and all of that area. And he actually used the term Azad Kashmir. Can you tell us a little bit, in your opinion, what you think Azad Kashmir means?
Well, when in 1948 UN resolution was passed on J&K, the part occupied by Pakistan termed it as Azad Kashmir. So in our constitution, it is written as Azad Kashmir. It has a prime minister, it has a president, it has a constitution. But the prime minister is powerless, the president is powerless, the constitution is powerless. In Islamabad, Kashmir Affairs Secretary is more powerful than prime minister. And the second thing is that Pakistan holds regular elections in POK, which is called Azad Kashmir in Pakistani media, Pakistani books, and constitution. And there is one clause in the elections of POK that any candidate who does not believe in accession to Pakistan of J&K cannot participate in election.
Yeah.
So how Azad it is, you can understand.
Yes.
A secretary bureaucrat is sitting in Islamabad can nullify any order of Prime Minister of Azad Kashmir and President of Azad Kashmir. It is always a selected government, though it is called elections, but whoever is ruling in Islamabad rules in Azad Kashmir. For example, if Nawaz Sharif's party is ruling in Islamabad, then of course in the elections of Azad Kashmir, they will win. Now, for example, Imran Khan won Pakistan's general election in 2018. So in last elections of Azad Kashmir, Imran Khan's party won. So this is the system. Now, Azad Kashmir is an occupied land because legally it is part of Jammu and Kashmir. And the legal custodian of Jammu and Kashmir, Maharaja Hari Singh, along with Muslim majority leader Sheikh Abdullah, went to New Delhi and pledged to Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru that Pakistan's army and tribals have attacked Jammu and Kashmir. They are raping our women, they are killing our people, they are looting and plundering our houses. Kindly save us. Jawaharlal Nehru said that Indian constitution does not allow me to send army to another territory until you don't get accession to India. Because Jammu and Kashmir had asked for a standstill agreement between Pakistan and India.
Yes.
They were asked that whom would you join? So Maharaja Hari Singh said that I am a Sikh. We have very multicultural Kashmir. Because in Jammu there is majority of Hindu. In Kashmir there is majority of Muslims. In Ladakh there is majority of Buddhist. So let me talk with my people and then I will come. So 1 year standstill agreement. But Pakistan did not honor this standstill agreement and attacked. So when they went to Delhi, Nehru said that if you are ready to accede to India, then of course our army can protect because you will be part of India.
Yeah.
So Maharaja Hari Singh and Sheikh Abdullah signed accession treaty to India. So Jammu, Kashmir, Ladakh, Gilgit, Baltistan, all are legal and integral part of India. Whatever part Pakistan has occupied, it is illegal occupation.
Right. And
And
how do you,
about the United Nations, United States ambassador's statement, in current geopolitical situation in the region, Ukraine-Russian war and India's stand on that. So it is to just pressurize India that he visited POK. Before that, Ilhan Umar, the congresswoman of Somalia origin in US Congress, House of Representatives, she also went to POK and she traveled until LOC, line of control. And she also issued provocative statements.
yeah.
And United States ambassador did the same thing because they want to put a pressure on India that look, if you don't accept our terms and conditions, we can go to any extent. So this is why he issued this statement.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes complete sense from that political narrative. And how do you feel the people actually within Kashmir nowadays are feeling under Pakistani rule? Yeah, what is their opinion of how Pakistan are when they can see India next door is rising to the fifth richest country? How are they really feeling?
Well, Saloni ji, I have become a poster boy of protest. I do so many protests
I
that
know.
every week I have one or two. Now, tomorrow morning I'm going for a protest. Now, who are the protesters? They are people from POK.
Right.
Why they are protesting in front of Pakistan embassy tomorrow morning in London? Because on 22 October, Pakistan's tribals and army attacked Jammu and Kashmir.
Right.
So tomorrow is 22 October. So they are protesting.
Right.
There thousands of women were raped, kidnapped, and sold in bazaars of Rawalpindi, Muzaffarabad, Jhelum, Quetta, Peshawar, because most of the tribals were Pakhtuns.
Yes.
So hundreds of women were sold in bazaars of Pakistan and then loot and plunder. So Kashmiris are protesting everywhere. There are protests in Canada, in different cities of United States, in European cities like France, Germany, Belgium, Holland, Geneva. There are widespread protests tomorrow going on. So, as you say, asked that what do the people of POK are thinking about it? People of POK are frustrated with Pakistan because Pakistan has used Kashmir issue for their own sake. Now, why Kashmir issue? Because when 1947 Pakistan became an independent state, the army was divided. Army of British India was divided between Pakistan and India on the grounds of Muslim and non-Muslim. Now Pakistan got such a huge army. Now there was a question that why do we need an army? Who are our neighbors? Afghanistan, Muslimist country, Iran, Muslim country, India. We were born from India. So why India will do enmity to us? India already paid 55 crore rupees to Pakistan in 1947 to sustain the Riyasat of Hyderabad in India. The Nizam of Hyderabad paid to Jinnah salaries of 3 months to the Pakistan's bureaucrats and civil servants. So why Pakistan needs such an army? Now to justify existence of such a massive army, they need an enemy.
Yes.
Who is the enemy? So they created an enemy of India. Now, what can be the reason? The reason is that India has occupied Jammu and Kashmir. So Jammu and Kashmir is survival of Pakistan's army. And this way, army is ruling Pakistan since 1947.
Yes.
Most of the time are directly and sometimes indirectly bringing their puppet governments through puppet elections, rigged elections, orchestrated elections. So Pakistan Army's existence depends on the issue of Jammu and Kashmir.
Yeah.
Because United Nations resolutions of 1948, they clearly say that Jammu and Kashmir is a disputed area. To solve the dispute, first of all, every Pakistani citizen, be it a military man or a civilian, should leave Jammu and Kashmir. First point of United Nations resolution. They should leave Kashmir and every part of Kashmir, Jammu, Ladakh, Gilgit, Baltistan. No Pakistani should be there.
Yeah.
This is first point. Then the second point is that India should minimize its presence in Jammu and Kashmir, not exit, minimize, so that the system continues in Jammu and Kashmir. Indian army should minimize its presence in Jammu and Kashmir. Then third point is that India should hold a plebiscite in Jammu and Kashmir.
Yes.
To ask people of Jammu and Kashmir that whom do they, a kind of referendum.
Yes.
Now, Pakistan always claims that we should solve Jammu and Kashmir issue on the basis of UN resolution. India says, okay, come on, baby. First you exit. Pakistan will not exit.
Yes.
Pakistan is occupying Jammu and Kashmir, and Pakistan is not ready to go out. So people of Jammu and Kashmir are disappointed, frustrated with Pakistan. And Pakistan army is not giving them any civil and political rights. They are an occupied nation, their resources are plundered, and they in return get nothing. But media embargo is there, so no report of human rights violations
Well, this is
comes
my
out
next
from
question to
Jammu and
you.
Kashmir.
I was going to ask you the next question. Why don't we hear about these atrocities in the international media? Why is it all suppressed? We always hear about Indian army and all of the fake news that the propaganda uses about human rights from India, but they never ever talk about the state of their own people, of minorities, of the human rights violations across the border. Why do you think that is?
Well, United Nations Secretary General is in India right now. And yesterday he issued a statement that India is a violator of human rights and India should maintain all the standards of human rights. I am surprised that where India violates human rights. Okay. In Pakistan last week in Nishtar Hospital, Multan, on the roof of hospital, 500 dead bodies, decomposed dead bodies were found. And their front was open and all the organs were missing. Now, these 500 dead bodies, more than 500, belong to Baloch and Pakhtuns, who were kidnapped by Pakistan army, tortured, and then their organs were sold and their bodies were dumped on the roof of hospital. Where is United Nations? They don't see this human rights violation. Show me 5 bodies in India. Here there are more than 500 bodies. No media is speaking. No human rights organization is talking about it. Neither United Nations. So Pakistan has a very good ecosystem of left media is supporting Pakistan. Pakistan is a puppet state of West. Pakistan is a buffer zone for West. They use Pakistan for anything. We know that since 1979, Pakistan is the director of the movie Global Jihad. The script writer is United States. Financer is Saudi Arabia. But director is Pakistan. So Pakistan manipulates everything on the wishes of West. To break up, for the breakup of Soviet Union, they used Pakistan. Now again for Russia-Ukraine war, they are pressurizing Pakistan. And day before yesterday, I had a report. I was discussing with a very important think tank of the record. And they said that United States is planning a kind of Taliban, ISIS the two organizations that they created. Now they are creating a third one. In the north of India, in the Central Asian republics, which are Muslims, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, and then their border to Russia. The Russian bordering areas are also majority Muslim. Officially, Russia's 50%, 15% population is Muslim. So Dagestan and Chechnya and all these. So
Yes.
United States is trying to create a jihadi kind of atmosphere there to affect Kashmir, to affect Xinjiang province of China, and to affect Russia. And Pakistan is being pressurized, and Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has refused to do anything. They said, no, we are done with extremism. We are now progressing, economic development, no more extremism. Pakistan is a handicapped country,
Yes.
beggar country. So Pakistan may go in this plan. Now, coming back to this human rights situation of POK. So, Pakistan army has a very strict control on Jammu and Kashmir, on POK,
Yes.
and no media, no journalist is allowed to report any single thing without prior approval of ISPR. ISPR is Inter-Service Public Relations. An army's general heads ISPR, sitting general, and ISPR gives directives. So nothing comes out of POK. There are continuous protests since last 6 months. 6 months. Kotli, Bhimber, Ravlakot, Muzaffarabad, Neelam Valley, Mirpur, everywhere there are protests going on since last 6 months. Nobody hears about it
Yes.
because news don't come out.
Yes.
India is a free society. India believes in freedom of speech. You have more hate preachers in India than anywhere else in the world. But still they are allowed to preach their hate speech because freedom of speech. In Pakistan, there is no freedom of speech.
Yes. The other question I wanted to bring you back was about the governance of Pakistan. Like, for example, in 2005, there was a big earthquake around Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and the UK had sent 300 million pounds worth of aid to help rebuild the area. And the Daily Telegraph, a few years later, reported that it hadn't been rebuilt. Where was that money gone? Even recently with the floods, I was reading like the comments on Khalij Times where people are saying don't give any donations to our government because we don't see it. Where is this money going? In your opinion, what do you think is going on?
Well, I have also made many videos on current flood situation. They don't give money to Pakistan. Even after 3 months that flood has finished, Sindh is still drowned because they want to keep it drowned to show to the world that give us money, give us help. So this is in Pakistan. Yesterday, somebody sent me a video from Sindh that the wheat, rice, and food grains came from in aid from Europe and America are sold in private stores.
Yes.
This happens in Pakistan. Now, talking about 2005 earthquake, I became mayor of Jamshed town in 2005, in October 2005. And the said 2 days before I became mayor, there was earthquake in POK and Gilgit Baltistan and parts of KPK. And we got an instruction that all the mayors should visit the area. So I visited that area, and it was such a devastation. Destruction was so massive, and people were helpless there. We tried to help people, but in Pakistan, in natural disasters, we receive so much of aid, and it does not reach to the people. And I believe that no infrastructure was rebuilt even after 17 years of that natural disaster.
Yeah.
And in Pakistan, it happens. In Sindh and Balochistan, there was so big flood, and entire infrastructure is broken. 30 million people are homeless, but nobody is supporting them. Nobody is helping them. And there are so many heartbreaking reports For example, there was a Hindu girl in Sindh, a young girl about 12 years old. She was offered food for her family in return of one rep. This is happening and this is reported in media. So this is Pakistan. The aid money and aid goods go to governmental civil servants, army officers, and politicians. They store it in their godowns, and when there is a shortage in the market, they sell it with double price. This is Pakistan.
So
And
very corrupt.
the world and Pakistanis would be much better without Pakistan. I'm an advocate of Pakistan's dismemberment because it's good for no one.
Yes. Thank you so much for that insight, because we hear of the corruption, but when you really get to hear the details of it and the sad stories of children, you know, being abused like this, the world has to hear it. So thank you so much for that insight, Arifji. On your own channel, you actually did an interview with Mr. Seng Sarin. He's from Gilgit Baltistan.
Yes, yes.
And he's trying to, with his organization, get the UN to intervene and get the area rejoined with India. Are you aware of the human rights in that particular area?
Gilgit-Baltistan, if you look at its demography, it is closer to Ladakh, and the people, the language, because both Ladakh and Gilgit-Baltistan are mountainous regions, and world's largest water reservoir is there.
Right.
So, logically, it is part of Ladakh, and it should be with India. And that's what Mr. Senge Sarang has always advocated. And it's not only Mr. Senge Sarang. There are two brothers, retired colonels of Pakistan Army. They live in Australia, and Wajahat Hussain and Colonel Wajahat Hussain and his brother. They used to come to Geneva also, and they always also said that Ladakh and Gilgit-Baltistan are same region. So obviously Jammu, Kashmir, Ladakh, Gilgit, Baltistan, including POK, Aksai Chain, Shagram Valley, all these are part of Jammu and Kashmir and part of India. We always talk about POK and Gilgit-Baltistan, but there are two regions apart, POK and Gilgit-Baltistan, which are also occupied. One is Aksai Chin, which was handed over by Bharat during 1962 war with China. So China is occupying Aksai Chin. And Shagram Valley is originally part of Jammu and Kashmir, but Zulfikar Ali Bhutto handed over it to China in early 70s to build Karakoram Highway. So it is about 5,000 square kilometer region which is given to China by Pakistan. So Jammu, Kashmir, Gilgit, Baltistan, and Ladakh are divided in three parts logically. India legal custodian, but Pakistan and China are illegal occupant.
Right. So can you just give us, just before we wrap up this interview, some brief history, some background? How did Pakistan, how were they able to take over all of these lands when legally in 1947-48, according to UN resolution, what they are doing is illegal? How have they been able to take so much control like this?
Well, they say that, I don't know, Napoleon said or who said, that a team of 100 dogs led by a tiger can win any battle. But team of 100 lions led by a dog cannot win any battle. Leadership is very important. In 1947-48, when Kashmir was under attack and Kashmir's legal custodian Maharaja Hari Singh and Sheikh Abdullah came to New Delhi and asked Jawaharlal Nehru that please, we are ready to sign accession treaty, save us. Now, save us means save us. They did not save them.
Yes.
They should have driven out Pakistan from Kashmir, entire Kashmir. But Jawaharlal Nehru sent his army, and into today's LOC, line of control, Pakistan had reached till that place. So Indian army came and stopped Pakistan there. Now their job was to drive them out, and Indian army was ready. Many generals have now given their account that we were desperate to bring back our part, but Jawaharlal Nehru went to United Nations and he asked United Nations to intervene. What United Nations did? Ceasefire. Ceasefire and created line of control. So whatever part Pakistan had occupied, it remained with Pakistan. If India had fought Pakistan army, India was an established country. Pakistan was a new country. India had a very strong army. Pakistan had a very poor army. Pakistan's army had not that many equipments or arms and arsenal. Pakistan had no money. Pakistan was asking money from Nizam Hyderabad. We all remember that Gandhi, he had a satyagraha, his fast. Why? Because he asked Indian government, Nehru government, to give Pakistan money and share and everything. Pakistan had nothing. India could have easily defeated Pakistan, but India did not fight that war. So it was because of a weaker leadership. Again, coming to 1962 also, many army generals are saying today that Nehru did not allow Air Force in 1962 war. Nehru did not allow us to fight to our full potential. And immediately he declared defeat. That's where India lost war of China. So I think leadership is very important. Pakistan had a very aggressive leadership. India did not have. I think if a leader like Modi ji was there in 1947, I don't think that Balochistan would have been occupied by Pakistan. POK, Gilgit-Baltistan would be occupied by Pakistan. No. But unluckily, India had a very weak, compromising leadership at that time.
Yes. Well, you know why India and Pakistan have separate Independence Days, one day apart. You know why that is, right?
Well, Pakistan does not want to celebrate on the same day.
No, the truth is it was Lord Mountbatten. He wanted to be in Lahore one day celebrating and in Delhi one day celebrating. So it was the weak leadership, appeasing the British yet again.
But until 1951, Pakistan celebrated its Independence Day on 15 August.
Oh, that's interesting, because I had heard the other.
India was divided, cut into two pieces. So if I cut a cake today,
yes,
it will be cut in two parts on the same day.
Yes.
It cannot be said that one part is cut on 14th August and second part is. So logically, and yes, your point is also correct that Lord Mountbatten, but in division of India was a blunder of British forces, British and American, because after Second World War, British had become a subservient of USA. And it was dictated by USA for everything. Decolonization was done under the supervision of USA, and there were two new countries were created. One was created Pakistan, another was created Israel. And both were created on religion grounds. But Israel was a historic country there. Since thousands of years, since Moses' time, Israel was a country. Israel is even mentioned in our Quran also. So Israel always existed, but due to colonization by Muslims and then Roman Empire and then again Muslim and then again British Empire, it was not a country anymore. But Pakistan, there was no country at all in history, mankind's history. There was no country called Pakistan.
Yeah.
So these were designs of America and England.
What do you see the future now for Pakistan? Because it's a country that's quite weak financially. They're needing a lot of money from the IMF, from other countries. They seem very weak. The people don't trust the leadership. What do you think is the future now?
Well, future is that we will be after maybe a few years or few months, maybe not months, but after few years, if we are still in contact, we will be discussing that there was a country called Pakistan.
Right.
There used to be a country called Pakistan. Pakistan's dismemberment is imminent. It is, I mean, nobody can stop it. It's an artificial country. Nobody wants in Pakistan to live in Pakistan. Baloch do not want, Pakhtuns do not want, Sindhis do not want,
Yeah.
Kashmiris, Gilgiti, Balti, no one of them wants to remain with Pakistan. Only Punjab is Pakistan.
Yeah.
So Pakistan's dismemberment is inevitable and it will happen.
Okay. Thank you so much for your insights, Arif Ji. I really enjoyed chatting to you. You're such a voice of wisdom and reason, and how you always have a balanced perspective. So thank you so much again for your time. And I look
Thank you.
forward to
Thank
seeing
you
you
so
again
much.
next Saturday at the BBC protest.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net.